Hey everybody, welcome back to GTTV here at Comic-Con, and now joining me is a good friend of the show, Pete Wynot, who's here to unveil the first ever footage of Wanted the video game, which is a sequel to Wanted the movie.
Yeah, it takes place literally right after the movie ends, the game begins, and what better place to sort of show the game in action for the first time than here at Comic-Con.
So it's a complete sort of separate adventure, but going through some sort of similar locations to the film, right?
Yeah, we try to match the same type of feel the locations in the film have. And you'll see like the Chicago fraternity plays a major role in the film, and so we'll have that in the game as well. But then that scene on the train, that awesome final climactic scene, we try to mirror that by doing it on plane, and I think that's what you'll see in the video.
So what are we going to be doing in this one?
So if the movie is the story of Wesley and his father, the game is essentially the story of Wesley's relationship with his mom, what he thought he knew, and we really try to go back and take stuff from the film, but there's a lot of elements from the comic book in there as well. And if you're a fan of the comic book, I mean, we've been reading a lot of sort of saying, oh, they missed the boat, they should have went with the comic book sensibilities. Well, we're a movie company, so we're going to try to match the film. But if you're a fan of the comic book, there's tons of things in the game that will make you go, these people really get the comic book and didn't forget the roots.
Yeah, it's amazing when you see it in action, because I love the frame rate, I love the curve the bullet, mechanic, and also Wesley is the star of this game, of course, right?
Yeah, I mean, you literally jump into his shoes, and I think we can announce for the first time here that you're also going to be playing Cross as well, so you'll play both characters, and it's something we haven't really talked about, but I think it gives a different way of playing the game, so you can play as both Wesley or Cross.
Big Hollywood movie stars and blockbuster film previews aren't the only reason why people come to Comic-Con. In fact, one of the main reasons for fans is the exclusive toys and collectibles that can be found here. So right now, let's take a look at some of the coolest video game toys on the show floor. So Richard, last year, your company Weta, of course, worked on the Halo 3 marketing campaign. Tell me what you guys are showing off here at this year's Comic-Con.
Well, at Comic-Con this year, we're doing a range of Halo collectibles. I've always had this idea of a soldier supported off his gun blast through the guts of a monster, and we got to do it on Halo. The Master Chief and Arbiter is a scene from Halo 3, a very important scene where these two have actually joined forces. Master Chief blasting and slicing through the grunts is a particularly ambitious piece. Cortana coming out of the chip. They've all been incredibly well received. There's an amazing collection of enthusiasts and fans around the Halo game. And it's lovely to get the feedback on this particular line.
So Scott, it wasn't long ago that Blizzard announced Diablo 3. Now, of course, you have announced the first collectible. Tell me about what you guys are showing off here at Comic-Con.
This is the Diablo Barbarian. What you see here is this is the finished sculpture from the artist. They just got done about a week ago, so they hand carried the sculpture down just so everybody can see it in person.
Tell me about some of the things that you guys are selling here this weekend.
One of the biggest things we have is from Gears of War. We're doing an exclusive Carmine action figure, along with God of War, Tomb Raider, Prototype, Ninja Gaiden. It's pretty much the destination for video game figures. This beauty is the Lancer. It's a full-size replica. It's over 3 feet and it weighs about 12 pounds. This is going to come out with Gears of War 2 this November. It's got a motor in it. You make a little chainsaw noise. And it's pretty badass.
Of course, you can't have a Comic-Con show without the legend himself, Stan Lee. Stan,
You better not.
You're here, talking about, obviously, comic books, and, you've got movies. You just actually got to meet, for the first time, Hugh Jackman.
Yeah. I didn't know he was so tall. In the book, Wolverine is about that high.
Well, they're also doing a Wolverine game that I was talking to Hugh about, and he's excited about that, because it seems like every big movie here from Marvel has a video game component.
Yeah, we do a video game too. Yeah, I've done all the voice, and I've seen little bits, but I haven't seen the finished product. We've got to see that. I'll be seeing that in a couple of months. But
Hardcore as well, right?
Let's face it, when I'm on there, I'll be getting my ass kicked.
Now they've got the Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, which is coming out, which is the the fusion of all these different characters coming together. How do you feel about the pairings that they're making in these games? Are they making the right choices?
Oh, I love it. And don't forget, we did that on the comics.
Yep.
And readers loved it every time we picked. That's why we finally came out with the book The Avengers,
Right.
because they loved having characters together. I was just on a panel with Activision. I think they are doing such a good thing, and Marvel should be proud of the way they're doing those games. They're
Yep.
just making the characters look more glamorous than ever.
So are we going to convince you to play one of these Marvel games one of these days, even like on the Wii? You heard about this new Nintendo thing?
No, they have one that you
You swing around. It's called the Wii, and you just swing it, and you can play tennis, and you literally swing like a tennis racket.
Great at that because I'm incredibly graceful and talented. And all right, from now on, the next time you interview me,
Yes,
I'm gonna
I gotta bring a Wii,
ask me all about video games because I'm gonna get a what do you call it? A
A
Wii?
Nintendo Wii. There's
Spell
a
it.
it's a WII.
A Wii.
Exactly.
Wow, I gotta get one.
Coming up next, Zack Snyder and the cast of Watchmen talk games, and Zack lets us know if that next-gen 300 game is really coming out. Now, what about a new 300 game? Hey everybody, welcome back to GTTV from Comic-Con 2008, and now I'm joined with a guy who made a big impression at Comic-Con last year, the year before that, but this year you're going to outdo him before with new Watchmen footage. It's Zack Snyder. Zack, how you doing?
Doing real good. Good to be here, as they say.
Now, yesterday they just announced the video game version of Watchmen, which is a prequel. What can you tell us about that?
I mean, prequel in the sense that it takes place before the movie, but it's not like an origin story. It's like a little adventure that we basically went through the graphic novel and just kind of found like what I would consider small little tidbits in history, and we tried to make a game that kind of relates to those things.
You've heard that they announced a video game version of Watchmen yesterday?
No.
What do you think about that?
I can hardly imagine it. I'm sure it's a brilliant idea, but it's so dark and complex. I mean, someone would have to really come up to the plate for that one.
Your character is one of the key characters in the video game version. Have you heard about this?
I have heard about this.
Have you done your voice for it yet, or?
No, I haven't. But I think that's coming up in a couple weeks. We're supposed to do that.
Are you gonna play it?
Of course I'm going to play it, and I'm going to force all my friends to play it.
Now, they just announced that there's going to be a Watchmen video game.
Yeah.
You are one of the stars of it.
That's funny. Jack and I were talking about it because we're both like, "Do you know what it is yet?" I said, "I don't know." I said, "Well, I didn't want to be the one guy that like wasn't in it."
Well, it's pretty much you and Jackie are the stars of this game.
Look, this is like the second I've heard about it. Maybe you can tell me more about it.
It's a brawler. You're going around beating guys up, and that's sort of a prequel to the film.
Oh, really? That's great. I really don't know the specifics. I'm learning it.
You play games at all, though, or?
I do. I'm a big Rock Band, Guitar Hero, and I'm actually was way into like the NASCAR games. That's the southern route. It's just sort of I like driving games.
So Guitar Hero or Rock Band, which is the better one?
Well, I grew up a drummer, so right now I'm sort of digging on Rock Band, but I love the Aerosmith Guitar Hero.
And you hear there's a new Guitar Hero that's going to have World Tour. It's going to have drums now. Finally, did you hear about that?
No, now see that's what I want to find out.
Head to head, it's Rock Band versus Guitar Hero, dueling drums.
That's what I want.
And this one is a downloadable game. It's not like a huge 360 game, but it's a step up from the PSP only version of 300, right?
Yeah, I mean, just because of the time constraints of making a really giant retail game, they showed me the quality of a game that they thought they could get out as a downloadable game, and that satisfied what I was looking for as far as quality.
Now, what about a new 300 game? Because there's been talk that you're going to go back and at least do another 300 game. I mean, there's talk about a new movie, but you going to do a new 300 game with Brash, I think?
We're hoping to do like a giant, like really super awesome, video game that allows us to use not be pressured by time and just do it the right way all the way.
So remake of the film or a new story?
It's going to be the adventures in the film, but just you're really able to explore every aspect of it, and fight in all the different scenarios.
And that's it from Comic-Con 2008 here in San Diego. If you want to see all the game footage in tonight's show in high definition, head on over right now to GameTrailers.com. We'll see you next week for another GTTV. But first, make sure to tune in on Monday night as we celebrate the launch of Madden NFL 09 live from Maddenpalooza at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. That's 9 p.m. on Monday, August 11th, right here on Spike. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.